Let's talk about your morning ritual and the impact it's gonna have on your confidence and self-esteem. And here's the thing. A lot of people I talk to tell me that, morning ritual, I don't wanna have it because I don't like rituals. Okay, I like to be spontaneous. But what they don't realize is that whether they believe in it or not, they already have a morning ritual. We all have morning rituals. But the tricky thing is that if you don't know what it is, the chances are it's something negative. Okay, so I want you to take a minute, actually pause this video and just analyze what you do when you wake up in the morning, right? What you do on a daily basis. And for most people, it won't be very positive. A lot of people wake up, the first thought that pops to their mind is, why do I have to wake up so early? I didn't get enough sleep. I'm so tired. I don't want to go to the office today. I can't be bothered to leave the house. Or if you are on a COVID lockdown, you may be thinking, I wish I could go to the office, but I have to stay at home and kids are driving me crazy. And it's very easy to succumb to all this negativity. And then the next thing you know, you pick up your phone and instead of reading a book or meditating or working on yourself in some way, shape or form, you check your messages, check your emails, you see some missed calls. Oh, that person tried to call me. I forgot I have to do that one thing. Oh my God, so many emails, so many problems. And a lot of us just focus on all of the negativity, but also all of those requests from the external world. Instead of being proactive, we become reactive to the world. And when you start your day like this, well, guess what? You are overwhelmed right from the get-go, right? You start your day and you already feel negative because you didn't take the time to kind of warm up your engine. And I would say it's the equivalent of going to the gym and instead of doing a proper warm-up, going for a little jog, right? Doing proper active stretching, really warming up with smaller weights, you go right to that bench press and you try to bench press 120 kilos. It won't work. Well, even if it works, maybe you're strong enough, you are more likely to get injured. And this is what we do on a daily basis. Rather than prepping our minds and our bodies to start the day, right, to have an amazing day, we don't do it. We kind of go on autopilot. So what I want you to do, because this course, I want it to be an action course. It's not just about me talking to you, preaching to you. I want you to take those lessons and those ideas, and I want you to try to implement them right away. So once again, pause this video at some point or wait till the end and then take some time to think about it. But really analyze how you start your mornings and try to identify some of those negative patterns that inevitably you engage in. We are human. Same goes for me, right? I'm not a saint. I also engage in counterproductive behavior, but the thing is, because I'm aware of what I'm doing and because I consciously try to engineer my morning ritual, I'm more likely to win, right? And I noticed that whenever I just go on autopilot, I am more likely to succumb to the negative. But whenever I say to myself, okay, tomorrow I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z in the morning, and at the same time I create a not to-do list, which I'm gonna talk about in the other video, and I define certain things I don't want to do and I shouldn't be doing, well, my mornings are way better. They are more productive, they are more positive, and your mornings will set the context for everything to come. And a very easy example is, picture this. You wake up in the morning, you want to eat something, there's some leftover pizza from 3 days ago, but you don't have enough time to, or at least you say to yourself, you don't have enough time to make a healthy breakfast. You grab that pizza, you start eating it. You don't feel good about it, but you feel like you have some fuel, you go about your day, right? And then later on, you have an option, you have a choice to eat another cold pizza or something equally unhealthy, or make yourself a salad or order a salad. Now, the question is, are you more likely to eat another pizza or a salad? Well, the answer is simple. You're more likely to continue that negative behavior because you already set that context, right? You already got used to this idea that, well, I already started my day in an unhealthy way, so I may as well just keep going. Now, let's change this scenario a little bit. Imagine you wake up in the morning and even though you're busy, you resist the temptation to eat that pizza. And you either fast, you just don't eat anything, you drink a lot of water and you start your day like this, which is, by the way, very healthy, but this is beyond the scope of this course. Or you make yourself a really healthy salad, right? And then you enjoy it and you feel like, wow, I feel all those nutrients. This is really good for my body and for my mind. Now, same situation. A few hours later, you are confronted with a decision to make. Will you eat some old pizza, right? Maybe fresh pizza, right? Or a bag of cookies. Or will you eat another salad or something equally healthy? And in this situation, the probability is higher that you will engage in healthy behavior. And the reason is very simple. You already started with the right context. You already started your day in a positive way. So you feel like you don't want to screw it up. What is the point of screwing it up if you already started with a positive note? And this applies to so many realms, okay? It doesn't just apply to healthy food, it applies to everything. For example, your internal dialogue. If you start your morning by thinking about negative things, you're more likely to be negative later on. It's kind of like this spiral. It keeps going on and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. But if you start your morning in a positive way, in a productive way, if you give yourself some time to really figure out what you want to get out of this day, rather than being reactive and checking your messages and being overwhelmed by email and maybe phone calls from other people and requests from other people, you take some time for yourself, right? To get healthy, to trigger a positive attitude, right? To figure out what you really want to accomplish during the day. If you take some time for that, well, you'll be more likely to be successful later on throughout the day because you set that positive context. So you may be thinking, what are some of the things that you could do? Well, I believe that the simpler, the better. Okay, so rather than trying to create some elaborate morning ritual with like 27 different things, if you do that, great, but most probably you will get overwhelmed and eventually you will give up, right? You may do it for a few days and at some point you will say, this is too complicated, too many things. I'm tired of like doing so many things in the morning. What's better is to create a very simple yet powerful morning ritual that works for you, that you can actually get excited about. And it doesn't have to be very long. You know, there are people out there, very successful people who have morning rituals that are 2, 3, 4 hours long. You know, I often like to take a lot of time in the morning for myself, but I also understand that everyone is in a different situation. And maybe you have 5 kids running around and maybe you have to be by your desk on a Zoom call with your employees or maybe with people who work with you by 8 in the morning and you can't afford to do a 2-hour morning ritual. So you know your situation the best, but what I want to encourage you to do is to create a system, design a system for each morning of things that you're gonna do that you can be consistent at. So again, you know your time, you know how much time you can carve out in the morning. For some of you it could be 5 minutes, for some of you it could be 25 minutes or an hour. I would recommend that have at least 10-15 minutes in the morning for yourself to see the true results. And what I encourage you to do is to every single morning take that time for yourself, right? To set a positive context for the day. Come up with certain activities that you would do in the morning in order to trigger that positive spiral. Now, you're probably wondering what are some of the things that you could do. And by the way, I'm going to attach a PDF with some examples of morning rituals to make it easy for you. So you can even print it and you can use it. One example is as simple as whenever you get up from the bed, you drink a full glass of water and then you spend 5 minutes, just 5 minutes, doing some type of physical activity. It could be literally jumping up and down. You could do some push-ups. You can combine them with some stretching, right? You could do things like this, do all types of things that just make your body moving, right? You could dance. If you enjoy dancing, put your headphones, put some music and just dance for 5 minutes. But you essentially spend 5 minutes getting into your body, feeling your body. You know, when you sleep, often when we wake up, we feel very stiff, right? You feel this neck pain and you feel your back and you just feel stiff. Now, when you take some time in the morning to get back into your physical body, to feel your body, to be mindful about how you move your body, well, that's going to not only impact your health, because that's obvious, but also it's going to impact your mental health, because throughout the day, you will feel more like yourself. So this is one thing you could do. Another thing is a very basic guided meditation, and there are plenty of them. There is an app called Headspace. In fact, I don't even list the apps. There are so many apps out there. Some of them are free. You can find plenty of guided meditations. In fact, when you go on YouTube and you just search guided meditation, you will find so many of them, from 5-minute guided meditation to 1 or 2 hours, right? So You can make it as simple as say to yourself, okay, every morning you do that physical exercise and then you sit down in silence and you either focus on your breathing or you listen to guided meditation and you do it just for a few minutes. But it's important that you make those numbers specific. So when you design your morning ritual, don't just say to yourself, I'll do it for a couple of minutes. I'll do it maybe for 20 minutes or maybe half an hour. Be specific, because when you're specific, you can be accountable. You cannot create accountability without specificity, right? Because how can you be accountable to yourself if you don't even know for how long you're going to be doing certain activities? But if you say to yourself, every morning, I have to meditate for 5 minutes and I have to move my body in whatever way for 5 minutes, well, that's something that's tangible, right? And you can literally incorporate it in your agenda. You can put it, and not just you can, you should put it in your calendar so it's in there, so you know it's real, it's becoming something tangible. And then whenever you do those things you say that you're gonna do, give yourself the credit, right? What you can do is you can even put it on a wall or on a whiteboard. I use lots of whiteboards here in the flat, and in fact, some of you who know me, I travel all over the world. I've been traveling full-time for the last 8 years. Whenever I rent a place, even if it's just a few weeks, I buy myself a whiteboard because I know that 20 or 30 or 40 euros spent on that whiteboard, it's nothing in comparison to the long-term benefits. So what I like to do is whenever I do the things that I want to do, I just put it down. I want to have a reminder that I've been following through on the things that I wanted to do. So make sure that you track your morning ritual. And what's going to happen is as you go through your morning routine day after day, you will get more and more motivated because you will see the results. You will see that it's going to make you feel more powerful about yourself and about the entire day. But also it's going to become a habit. Okay? So again, create a morning ritual. I don't want to tell you exactly how you should do it because everyone is different, but make sure that you take several different positive activities like physical exercise, like meditation, drinking plenty of water, taking a cold shower, could be reviewing your goals or embracing gratitude, sitting down for 2 minutes and writing down things that you are grateful for. It could be anything, but make sure that you put it down, make it specific, okay? Tell yourself how much time you'll spend on each activity and then make sure that you are consistent. What I would say is it's better to have a 7-minute morning ritual and do it consistently for years and years and years, rather than saying to yourself, okay, I'm gonna do a 40-minute morning ritual, you perform it for a week and then you give up. Because obviously when you give up, you won't have any result. Not only that, you will feel bad about yourself. And since this course is about building your confidence and self-esteem, whenever you say to yourself that you will do certain things and then you don't do them, you mentally slap yourself in the face. You feel like a failure. You feel like a person who, cannot even trust himself or herself, right? So this is why it's so important that you follow through on whatever you say you're gonna do, especially when you make a promise to yourself.